Hey Year 11s and 12s! In Area of Study 2, Unit 4, you are required to learn about a change model or theory. A change model or change theory provides a process or procedure for organisations to assist them in successfully implementing change. The study design specifically mentions Kotter's 8-step change process, which is an 8-step model developed by Kotter, which provides guidelines for the successful implementation of change. A possible question in Saxon exams relating to Kotter's theory is describe each stage of Kotter's change management theory for effective change management. 8 marks. When writing a response to this question, it is important to ensure that the question has been read carefully and is completely understood. This can be done by knowing the definition of the verb within the question. In this case, the word is describe, meaning to provide the key features and characteristics. By knowing this definition, you are now aware of exactly what should be in your response to gain full marks. Also, you need to underline the key words in the question, as these provide the foundation of your response. In this case, these include each stage and Kotter's. Next, students should look at the marking scheme. As an 8-mark question, approximately a page should be sufficient for your response. It may be best to break this down into at least 2 paragraphs, so it is clearly understood and is grammatically correct. It should also be assumed as to what each mark will be awarded for, so your response can be tailored to meet this. From this question, it could be assumed that as Kotter's is an 8-step process, 1 mark will be awarded for the correct description of each stage. Failing to do this will result in the loss of a mark for each stage that is not correctly explained or identified. It is also not sufficient to merely list or identify what each stage is. Even though this may be correct, the response is not adequate in responding to this question and may result in a loss of a mark for each stage this is not done for. Before writing out the response to this question, you should plan out how the response will be structured. This can be done mentally or on the page. Responding to this question should be approached in 2 different ways. Firstly, by simply outlining each stage of Kotter's theory and explaining what each stage is, and or how this results in effectively implementing change within an organisation in a more general way. Alternatively, students could use an organisation that they have studied throughout the year to explain how they implemented Kotter's change management theory in a more specific way. As this question is based on a sequential process, it is best to address the theory in the order it's conducted. The first stage, the second, the third, etc. As this will require a lengthy response, it may be best to address 4 steps in one paragraph and 4 in the second. An example of a response is: Kotter's 8-step model is a theory on how change should be implemented within an organisation so that it is effective. The first stage of the theory is to create urgency. This involves ensuring that the change is made a high priority and is seen as of high importance to all within the organisation and also to their stakeholders. The organisation may be more willing to embrace the change if it is seen as a response to an existing or possible future problem. This is followed by forming a powerful coalition. This refers to establishing a team of facilitators who require authority, recognition, and respect from within the organisation so as to truly be advocates for the change. Visible support from key people within the organisation is likely to increase support for the change. Thirdly, is creating a vision for change. This involves providing employees and other stakeholders with a clear, shared sense of direction that will allow them to achieve a common objective. Having this vision allows for cooperation and commitment to be developed, increasing the likelihood of successful implementation of the change. The 4th stage of this theory is to communicate the vision. The created vision should be communicated widely and frequently to all stakeholders. This increases cohesion and reduces fear of undertaking change. The 5th stage of Kotter's change management is to remove obstacles. Anything that may impede the progress of implementing the change should be removed or reduced as much as possible, so as to have the best chance of success. This is followed by the organisation creating short-term wins. This involves ensuring that recognition and reward is given throughout the change process to encourage further risk and reinforce the positive aspects of embracing the change. The 7th stage of the theory is to build on the change. Many change projects fail because victory is declared too early. Instead, each success should be viewed as an opportunity to build on what went right and identify the areas for improvement. The final stage of the theory is to anchor the changes into the organisation's corporate culture. Changes implemented should become part of the organisation's core to ensure they will continue to be followed and upheld. This makes a clear statement to show the connections between the new procedures and the success of the organisation. Other types of questions relating to Kotter's theory may include discussing only a few stages in detail, outlining how specific stages can be related to ethical and social responsibilities, explaining an organisation that you studied throughout the year and how they used or failed to use this theory in implementing a change. Happy studying!
Hey guys, click here to go to the Engage Wiki and then click here to watch the next video. Good night, I live here now.